Hi, this is Thalia Andrews and welcome to this week's edition of Development, Design and Construction TV. Today we're joined by Rohit Sachdev of Soho Hospitality. Rohit, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Rohit, you're an owner-developer and you've been one part of a successful design firm, so why now go back into design?
For one, I think I have a very strong passion for good design, and I think from the development perspective, the design aspects are a huge anchor of any development project. So I think there's very interesting synergies between the two. From a business perspective, I'd earlier decided that I would focus more on the development side and expand our business into other projects. But upon discussions with several of our previous clients, they still had an interest in engaging me on projects, and so it was hard to resist when I saw the pipeline that was coming in.
So with so many other design firms here in Thailand and in Asia, I mean, it's a booming business. What do you think you can offer differently?
Well, first and foremost, I think our company offers a very different perspective into the design business than other firms. We inherently come from a development background. We understand the critical success factors of a development project. We understand how for example, from the hospitality business, how much it's changed over the last couple of years with new emerging demographics that a lot of hospitality brands want to cater to. So, coming from that perspective, where we also look at it from an investment perspective, once we take that into a design approach, we can factor all of those aspects and provide our clients with a design solution that looks into those various areas. And I think that a lot of designers sometimes just want to design the best, the product that has the most expensive design elements, the best stones. I think we look at it from, we want to create an experience, but we want that experience to also impact the bottom line of the clients we do business with. I think that's an approach that not many design firms are doing, and we can do very well.
How do you think you could do that?
One of the things that we've been talking about that we'd like to push is to be able to create a room where we can tell the client how much that room is going to cost. Every time a developer goes out and builds a hotel, he wants to know what is his cost per key. And that'll factor all the public areas, back of house, and guest rooms into a per room investment. And if we can identify, materials that are suitable for that particular investment, and we can build from that perspective, then we know that we're not only creating a really compelling design, but we also know that we're fulfilling the return on investment needs of the developer. And I think that's a very different approach from other designers who go out and basically design whatever they want, and then eventually the developer comes back and tells them, oh, you know what, this is way over my budget, and now you have to value engineer and take out this material because I can't afford it, take out this material. So I think we can approach it from a different perspective.
Do you think you see the design development process differently because you yourself are a developer?
Yeah, I think that certainly had I not had the development background, I may not be as sensitive to developers when they come and say, I need to value engineer these materials because I can't afford them. If I didn't understand the critical success factors, especially in terms of cost management, of a developer and how that can be the make or break of his project, I wouldn't really be that sensitive in terms of helping him to value engineer. But because I've been through that process myself, I'm sensitive to the needs of developers, and I think that we could work more. We I think, more willing to cooperate with developers, whereas some designers, don't want to take some of those expensive materials that they want to use because that's part of their look and feel. I think we're more flexible in terms of being able to accommodate those various aspects.
So what kind of clients are you hoping to service?
We want to work with clients who, one, I think, we say have taste. Taste is, of course, subjective. What someone may like, somebody else may not like. But we also think that taste is something you either have or you don't. So we want to work with clients who have good taste. We want to work with clients who understand that today the hospitality business is no longer about designing rooms, but it's about designing an experience that caters to, all the senses. I mean, you walk into a space and there should be a layering effect from the moment you walk into the public areas, into the private guest rooms and into the various F&B or other facilities. There should be a layering effect, a transition. There is a story to be told, which touches upon our emotions. If you can deliver that, then I would say you've done good design. And we want to work with owners and developers who understand that aspect of design.
Are there any interesting projects that you can tell us that you're working on at the moment?
Yeah, we are working on a number of different projects. We're working on a nightclub at the Le Méridien in Coimbatore in India. It's a very industrialized city, but they've got a lot of foreign expats who are living there. It's a big textile hub, and the owner of the Le Méridien there came to us because there were no places of entertainment. And so he wanted to create a nightclub that would be reflective of what you would find in an urban city like London or New York, any world-class city. And they came to us, and we were, as I said, we want to create a story that touches upon the emotion of the patrons who are going to be visiting this place. So we were inspired by the French colonial influences that came down to that part of India. It's called the Malabar Coast in the 18th century, and there's so much history and tradition and culture that has come, that has emerged from that era of colonization, that we kind of used that as an inspiration, and we created a nightclub that's really, it's basically inspired by an art collector's living room in the 18th century, so it's all based on modern Baroque interiors. As you walk into the reception area, it's really the library of this fictitious art collector that we've created, and you walk in from there into the nightclub, and the story goes on from there. And it's currently under construction. It's a 7,000 square feet space, and we hope that it'll really become a very popular and kind of the pillar of the entertainment and nightlife in this city. So we're very excited about that project, and we hope that it'll turn out as we've envisioned.
And you yourself are also developing a new iconic restaurant concept for here in Bangkok. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. One of the, being that this property, the Fraser Suites, is located in Soy 11, and we've seen over the last few years how Soy 11 has emerged as part of the nightlife, as part of the nightlife district in Bangkok, especially among the expatriates and tourists who are visiting Bangkok. We thought that we would kind of piggyback that trend and create a rooftop experience. In this area, there's no rooftop bar in a high building, and so we came up with a concept of doing a rooftop bar. But we wanted to create something different. We were looking at the demographic of people who are coming to this area. And again, as I've said, we knew we had to create an experience, something that would be really compelling. So we were inspired by a tree. That's how it all started. And then we said, if we're inspired by a tree, then what does that really mean? And living in New York for the last for 10 years of my life, I spent a lot of time in Central Park, so that was kind of a basis of that inspiration. And then we were inspired by creating an urban park experience. And then we said, well, if it's an urban park experience and it's on a roof, that would be difficult to envision. So then we said, okay, we're going to make an abstract art installation of a park experience, and we would create these vertical gardens. We would put these vines running up the exposed brick walls. We would create green areas, and then because we couldn't put a large tree up on the 32nd floor, we worked with structural engineers to come up with these trees that are basically made of steel.
Right.
And we basically created about 5 trees of varying heights.
Right.
And because our building faced westward and with unobstructed views, we see this as part of the overall experience, but we see it also as a great sales and marketing tool, because you're going to be able to see these trees from wherever you are on a building around the city, and perhaps that will invite you to want to come over.
Can you just show us the tree?
Right. So these are the trees. They're actually made of steel. We've got 5 of these trees, and we had to, as we were designing this, we had to really think about loading issues. We had to think about what type of shading these trees may provide as it rains a lot in Thailand. We also had to think about resistance to wind. And so we came up with this design. They're basically steel columns with branches that are kind of laying on top of each other, and it creates a really nice geometric form all over. And then what we decided was, on top of them we would actually put these acrylic plates, so that they would kind of appear as the leaves of the tree. And we're currently doing a lot of studies. As you can tell, we've created some models to study it, but we basically decided that we're going to put some of these acrylic plates on the trees. They're going to resemble the leaves, and then with the LED lights underneath, these trees will be illuminated, and you'd be able to see it from throughout the city. So I think once you also arrive to this urban private park, these trees kind of hovering over you also provide a really nice ambient atmosphere for the people who are there, and we're really looking forward to opening it into the next month or so.
You also offer turnkey design and build. Do you feel owners of hospitality projects in the region are open to this?
Not really hospitality. Design and build is a growing trend, but in hospitality it's too difficult to do design and build. Owners still want to have a control over the tendering process, because it's fairly large investment. But what we've seen is, in terms of perhaps smaller projects, retail, F&B, corporate interiors, these kinds of projects, there is a trend where people want a one-stop shop, and they are seeking a design and build solution, because it offers them the ability to basically use one party and work with one party throughout the entire, from the design process all the way through the build. And although sometimes that can mean that that can sometimes have an impact on the cost, may be a bit higher because you're not going through a formal tender process. I still think many customers are moving to that because it's like an outsourced solution, and they can get somebody to really manage the entire process for them under one umbrella. We're currently doing that. In terms of F&B, we're currently offering a full turnkey F&B design and build solution, where we not only integrate the design and development, but we're integrating lighting design, F&B concept, brand development, interior design, and construction. So it's really, and we brought some, some really senior and reputable lighting designers, brand development guys from overseas who are coming in and creating really a one-stop shop to develop a restaurant, all the way from design to putting the menu concepts together, the beverage concepts by bringing in mixologists, and then taking it all the way through construction. So that's something that we're trying to push, and we see a lot of interest from other customers who want to do that as well.
Well, Rohit, thanks very much for joining us today, and good luck on your design and development endeavors.
Thank you very much.